Narcissist. So activation warning. This talk may activate parts of you. Invitation for you to be here. But again, any parts that are a bit activated about narcissism, come and stand behind you if you would, and come and be in your heart. So, not surprisingly, this is about our own narcissistic traits. I'm not talking here about other people. This is about the U-turn. So diagnostic manuals suggest narcissism is a disorder marked by a pattern of grandiosity, a chronic need for admiration, a lack of empathy, an inflated sense of self-importance, preoccupation with fantasies of success and power, and a sense of entitlement, interpersonally exploitive behaviour, arrogance, and a difficulty reacts negatively to criticism. Vulnerability to life's transitions, difficulty with attachment and dependency, chronic feelings of emptiness and boredom. So I don't know if you listen to that and you just think, well, that's nothing to do with me, that's all them. Well, just to remember, when you point, there's one finger going that way and there's three fingers coming back. There's a really good talk by, article, there we go, by Sophia Vassi, which is How to Overcome Narcissistic Abuse and IFS. And I'll put that in the notes. So really worth, if you've suffered, and I really suffered, and my mum could be really classified as a narcissist. She was a very, very violent alcoholic. So I grew up with narcissism, and I used to blame her and judge her, and it was really hard. And then at some point, it was when she went in for the first time into recovery, it was suggested to me that I should go to Al-Anon, which is a 12-step program. And then I went, and there's Codependence Anonymous, and then there's also Adult Children of Alcoholics, and they're 12-step programs. And I learned so much about, this is why IFS becomes so simple for me in lots of ways, because in each of those programs you learn to do the U-turn. So, my mum held all the power and control. It was chaotic. It was really dangerous. It was really frightening to little me growing up. I lost all sense of self because self wasn't welcome. Being me, I feel a bit teary, being me wasn't welcome. So I learnt to put all sorts of protectors on. And absolutely the way, the golden trailhead here is looking at these protectors. The portal to the next level is the parts of you that you avoid. We tend to put, narcissists out there as bad and we're all good. And actually, as he said, we can't do, we can't change their behaviour, but what you can do is find you and and get to know the parts of you that are struggling. So if I'm noticing someone else's behaviour, do my U-turn, come back to me. If I'm having an intense reaction to someone, it's likely it's an echo from something that happened in the past. It may be happening now, but it's more likely that it's happened a long time ago, because my nervous system is reacting massively to something that probably happened when I was 3 or 5 or 9 or 12, no, whatever age. So if it's intense, it's yours. And this is a Chris Burrus suggestion. What you project, see in another, true or not true, why does it bother you? So what you see in someone else is often either in you too, or it's an exiled part. It's in your shadow. Get to know it. It's so freeing to get to know these parts and become friends with them and find their polar opposite. When we put the others into the bad category, it can cloud our ability to reflect on our own behaviours. So examining what's inside us to unblend, to do our U-turns, to look at our shadow. But of course, narcissism can make it super hard for the rest of us who might show some of these traits to spot and accept these parts within ourselves. Better to deflect it out there. So I'm inviting you to reevaluate the concept of narcissism within our own model and look at our own narcissistic traits, which are protective parts of the psyche, standing guard to shield us in the best way they know how. Their intentions are good. Their effects and impacts on other people are not so good. So just checking inside, who has a part? I don't know if you want to do a little thing or not, you don't have to, but who has a part that puffs themselves up a little bit? Do you have that is a little bit sort of grandiose, a little bit, I'm quite good here. And I really want to shout out for healthy narcissism. Healthy narcissism is a good thing. When I feel proud of myself, that's a good thing. And there's parts that are protecting me and are hurtful to others when I take the moral high ground, the one up, one down position in TA. And, feel superior, entitled, one that says that I'm good, I'm better than others. There's something a little bit special about me. I'm right, I'm better, I deserve special treatment. I don't know, just check inside if you've got any of this and welcome it. It's trying to help you. It's like, let's get to know these. How about parts of you that want to enact revenge? Exploit someone, certainly have that. What's it trying to do for you? What's its hope? What's its fears? How about arrogance? Do you have parts that react negatively to criticism? How about parts that have views about life transitions? How is it to be dependent? And its opposite. What comes up? What are these good intentions? And if you said, I don't have any of those, or no, that's not me, I'm going to ask you to look again. IFS is the most self-compassionate type of therapy that I know. It is really amazing. And it's like, we can really see the good intentions of these parts. So see their good intentions, appreciate them, but then after more exploration, let's also look at the impact of my own behaviour on others when these parts are around. Recognising our own narcissistic parts doesn't make us bad, it makes us human. Embracing the IFS perspective allows us to approach our own narcissistic parts with understanding and compassion. And we can see that they're protectors, they're our own SWAT team that are trying to look after us and heal the wounds that they are safeguarding. So, an invitation then to pause the next time we see a narcissistic trait in others. They are this. When you notice that, U-turn. You're pointing that way, 3-point fingers coming back. It's a part trying to shield a vulnerability. Let's self-reflect with compassion. Maybe we can extend that to the other too. Folk that have narcissistic traits, these are their parts. Remember we talked about the sun and the clouds. They can't see out. When someone has a protecting part, it's protecting a pretty enormous vulnerability underneath. So, just noticing this, it's just really helpful. Thank you all very much for listening.